Hello friends, welcome back to the video series Learn HTML5 in a Day. In the previous video, already we have discussed on paragraphs, line breaks, preserving white space, headings and block quotes of basic text markup. In this video, we would discuss on the font styles and size, character entities, horizontal rules and about the meta element of basic text markup. So at first we would start with the font styles and sizes, and that can also be nested. Let us at first delete that portion of block quote, and here we are writing some text with some font styles in the paragraph. So here we are writing, suppose the first one, the, then within the tag write down B, then end of tag. Here we are writing slit, then suppose we are writing in, suppose in the tag I, here we are writing create, then a break. As you know, for the break it is BR, and then another one, suppose lies completely. Once again we are using the B, and in between that once again we are writing in, and after that the end of B we are writing the street. That means we want to write down the slit in create lies completely in the street. So here at first save it, and here we are refreshing it. Now you can check the slit, that particular word was written in between the big. So the slit is here, has been in the output is in form of a big word. Then I for the italics. That's why the create word is in italics form, because we have written the create in I. Then lies completely as the normal. Then once again the in, that particular word is in between the big. So that's why the word in is big here. And finally the street as normal output. So this is how we can use the big and I. Let us now check some more tags for the font. For the bold face, we can use the B tag. So here we are writing bold face, and obviously there must be a break, otherwise it would be a problem in the output. And once again we are using a break here for better output. So B for the bold face. Already the italics has been described. So here we are writing italics, and once again the BR or break. Then for the larger we are using the B. So here we are writing the larger, and once again a break here. And for the smaller we can use the small tag. So small and here smaller. So save it, and we can once again refreshing the page, and here you can check where it is written the bold face, that particular word in between the tags of B, it has been in the bold. For I, it is for the italics. For the larger output, we are using the big tag, and for the smaller output, we are using the small tag. Now these tags are not affected if they appear in the content of a block code, unless there is a conflict like italics or something. So now we are discussing about the superscripts and the subscripts, and for the superscripts we can use the SUP, that particular tag, and for the subscripts we can use the SUB, that particular tag. So let us check once again, and here we are using another break. So now we are writing suppose X, then we are using the sub, and here we are writing 2. Then once again we are writing the 3, but before that we are using the tag that is SUP, or for superscript, and in between that we are writing the 3. So at first save the file, and let's check how the output is. Here, as 2 has been written in between the sub tag, so 2 is here as a subscript, and 3 has been written in between the SUP or sub tag, so the 3 has been written in the form of superscript. So these are the few tags for fonts that are still in widespread use, called the content based style tags. They are called content based because the tag indicates the particular kind of text that appear in their content. Now the next one is the emphasis tag, and the tag is written here, that is EM, and the emphasis tag means the most browsers use italics for such content. Now the strong tag, that means strong. Here the browsers often set the content of strong elements in bold. The code CODE used to specify a monospace font, usually used for program code. So let's check what should be the output here using that particular tags. So at first we are writing the EM tag. So EM, and here we are writing the suppose italics. Save it, and let's check. So for EM it has been used for the italics. Next one, suppose we are using the strong tag. So here we are writing strong, and then suppose we are writing the strong, that particular word, and once again we are using another break, and here we are writing the code, that particular tag, and here we are writing code, that particular word, and here saving. So let's check what should be the output. As already described, EM is used for the most recent browsers for the italics, and then strong, that tag is used for the bold, and the code, that means the code tag has been used for the monospace font in the browser. Practically, the tags are categorized into two: block and inline format. Block tags breaks the current line so that its content appears in a new line, like heading and block quote tag. And the inline tags does not implicitly include a line break except the break. The content of the inline tag appear on the current line. So inline versus the block elements cannot be nested in the inline elements. Let's check one, like em here, using em, then end of tag, and we are using and then we are using, suppose, the strong. What should happen? At first save it and let's check what should be the output. And here you can check the em means the italics. So here practically the strong, that word or that tag has not been used, but here we can use that. Like in that way, we are writing the and in between that, and here we are ending the strong, and then we are ending the em. Save it and let's check what happens with the and here at first it is becoming the bold, that means strong, and then it is becoming the italics. The next discussion would be on the character entities, and practically the character entities means we have to use the special characters, and to include the special characters here we can use some entity, like suppose here we are writing the table like format. That means at first, suppose the char we want to use char, then suppose we want to use which entity, then suppose we want to use what is the meaning, and here we are providing the special characters. That means at first we are writing the and, so ampersand sign, and which entity is used here, we can use ampersand amp, and what is the meaning of that? Now that is ampersand. Next one, special character, as you know, that is less than character, and for that we can use the ampersand lt, and you know already it means less than. Next one, suppose for the greater than, and here we can use the ampersand gt, and that is used for the greater than. Next special character we can use, that is double quote, and here we can use the ampersand quot, and here that means that must be quot, not e, and that is meaning double quote. Practically that special characters and their entity would be discussed more later. Then suppose the single quote. So here we can use the ampersand APOS, and that means already described, that is single quote. Next one, special character, that is 1/4 or 1/4. So here we can use the special character 1/4, that means ampersand and frac for the fraction and 1/4, and here we can use the 1/4. Next one, like suppose half. So here we can use the ampersand and in the same way frac and 1/2, and here that means that is 1/2. Next one, we can use the suppose 3/4. So here we can use the entity ampersand frac and here write down 3/4. So that means that is 3/4. And another one, suppose for the degree. So that means degree means a small type of 0 but not 0, and here for that we can use the entity that is DEG, and now we can write its mean, that is degree. Suppose 13 degree, 14 degree in temperature, like that. And now the space. So for the space we can use the ampersand and NBSP, and that is space means non breaking space. So practically these are some special characters we can use in the HTML for their entity, or we can use those entities to get the special outputs. Let's check one with the frac 1/4. So here we are using in between the P, that is, and here we are just removing these portions. So save it and let's check what happens. And already we have 1/4, that is means fraction 14. So here delete this and we are writing the complete portion here. So those means the special characters and their entities in HTML. Our next discussion would be on the horizontal rules, and for that we can use the tag HR, then another backslash. And horizontal rules or HR tag used to separate the parts of a document from each other, making the document easier to read by placing horizontal line between them. This causes a line break and also draws a line across the screen. So here in place of beer, suppose we are writing HR. So at first delete those and save it. Here we have after the subscript and superscript demonstration. So the HR, that means the horizontal line, would be in between that line and in between that line. So let's check what is the output, and already we have that particular line. So here if we once again change that break into HR, so what happens? Another horizontal line is here in between the two lines. Once again, the horizontal line or horizontal rules are used to separate the parts of a document from each other, making the document easier to read by placing the horizontal line between them. And also this causes a break and also draws a line. Our last discussion on the basic text markup would be on the meta element. The meta element, that is for the search engines, used to provide the additional information about a document with attributes, not content. Two attributes that are used to provide the information are name and the content, and how that meta content are used or the meta elements are used. And here how we can write it. At first, delete those, and here we write like that meta, then we should use the name is equal to, suppose, the title within double quote, then a space, and then the content. Suppose content would be like that: world, wide, and web, end of double quote, then here the backslash and end of the tag. So that is one example of the meta element. Another example, suppose we can use like that. At first we are copying it, and like meta name is equal to, suppose in place of title we are writing it as author, and the content is like we can write the Richie. Another meta, suppose the name as keywords, and the content like we can write here, that is in between the double quote as HTML, comma, suppose XML, comma, JavaScript, comma, suppose Ajax, comma, suppose XHTML. So web search engines use the information provided with the meta element to categorize the web documents in their indices. So if the author of a document seeks widespread exposure for the document, one or more meta elements are included to ensure that it will be found by at least some web searches. In the next video, we will discuss on how to use the images in HTML.